to the spoilery section.
Yes, into spoiler section.
Harriman!
Wait, damn it! We give a buffer usually.
No,
Spoilers, harem.
I mean, harem.
No, there's three girls.
There is 3, so it is technically a harem.
But really,
true.
in my opinion, though,
one was trying to bang him from the beginning. One he legit made out with.
Yeah.
And one he goes,
And he's
my
his
childhood friend. Oh, and now we're super
he
inseparable.
suddenly gets a childhood friend.
And then the two are okay with it because like they set it up from the beginning for no reason. The blue-haired girl just really likes that other girl.
Because she's got the sort of like... Honestly, I'm surprised they're not showing like conflict in the heart of the blue girl as she debates which person she loves more. Like, do I like this guy?
It's like
or do
the
I
two
like
people I
this
like
girl?
are dating each other instead of me. What the fuck?
What do I do? Just be the...
Just like
Forever
why?
third wheel.
Why
I don't
is
know.
she so into the other girl? I don't get it.
Because that's...
I think
just-
she
it was
is
just-
that character type. There's no reason for it besides the fact
that she's that character.
that she's that character type.
So you
where
can
it's
end up
one
with both
girl
of them at the end. It's okay.
who's obsessed with... Yeah.
But I also think it might have been like
So
maybe
it
she's
works
like
for the harem ending.
maybe it might be like she was her only real friend. Like since she lost her memories or stuff like that, who knows? We didn't get a lot of that backstory because they dealt with.
I love how there wasn't even conflict about like, oh, that was years ago, so it doesn't really matter all that much now. It's just like, no, I remember you from years ago. I love you now. Let's get together.
It's like, what?
It's been so long. You lost your memory.
Yeah.
You acted like totally
Honestly-
indifferent towards each other until you got your memory back.
Blue-haired girl, I think if they wanted her to be a pretty decent character, they should have done a lot more work on her.
She was
Like, they neglected
the worst,
so
in my
much
opinion.
stuff that we should have seen
Yeah, that's the
to make her
that's
more
the main
likable,
issue.
more
That's why I
important.
would want a second season to.
So they
Dude, the
could-
sister was great though. I don't know.
I really like the
yeah,
sister.
this is
also.
great. But the reason why is I think they like a second season would really flesh out her character more, and I would want it to I kind of wanted to see that more fleshed out character.
She was kind of
Yeah.
a crappy deadpan character. Like I liked her at the beginning. I was like, oh, this is cool. She's like the what's it called?
Ace Pilot.
No, well, sort of. She's like the daredevil character.
Yeah.
She's like always getting an adrenaline rush and crazy crap like that. But it's like she totally drops all that and just becomes like, oh, I love this girl. Oh, now suddenly I need to like
And then
factor
suddenly-
into the plot.
Suddenly memories.
Yeah.
Suddenly, well, because they
And now I
set
can't
up.
drive anymore.
Everything with
Oh, wait,
her
now I
just
can.
felt very rushed.
Because
and,
they
like,
focused.
they were just leaving so many
They
details
focused
out.
way more on the other three.
They
main
made her
characters.
unable to fly just so that they can make her able to fly the next episode.
Yeah, basically.
But that's the thing. The other three main characters.
You're
'cause
supposed to go, wow, that was so impressive that she was able to come back from that.
See,
Yeah.
there's in my opinion, this show has four main characters, and it's
Yeah, I'd
her,
agree with that.
the teacher, the
Sister.
Kyosuke guy, and then
Yeah,
Kyosuke looking motherfucker.
Kiru? Kiri?
Nagisa.
Nagisa?
Yeah.
Well, now the other girl's Nagisa.
She's still Iris.
But we'll just call him
Yes.
Nagisa
and
because
Mizuki. I want to say
I
that.
don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like our original lead that much, Mr. Gung Ho teacher dude.
He
I
gets
liked him.
better.
Like I thought he was okay, but he was never like the interest of the story for me. And as much
Because
as
the interest is.
I don't think he was the main character.
yeah, he
That's
wasn't.
mine.
No, but the thing is, that's why I say I feel like there was four main characters
Four
because
main
they
characters.
balance out the story with each of their storylines.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the.
I don't think. Okay, I don't even think like Iris was. Well, okay, I don't think she needed to be a main character.
She didn't need to be a main character, but she was there.
That entire storyline with her, I felt was not needed.
I don't know. I feel like the whole thing would have felt a little better and more complete if she had not been as important.
And I feel like they could have focused on one or two romances instead of like having all three just kind
Bending
of
that the
jumbled
way they
together. And like they don't even like come and clash with each other. There's like one moment where they go, "Oh, I'm mad at you," and then they're like, "Nope, never mind. We're
Yeah.
cool with it now."
They have like one look.
And then the girl who's like super crazy, like yandere in love with him, doesn't even notice.
yeah,
They
somehow
totally just gloss over that at the
Dude,
end.
it's okay because she's totally gonna end up with the teacher.
yeah, as they're getting chill at the end.
Dude, that was the thing that I was like so on board with. I was like, yeah, I'm on
Get
board
those
with
two
that.
together.
Yeah, those two.
Okay.
I felt like they were gonna end with that
See-
because I felt they hinted at it enough.
Okay, I feel like you can get away with that in working because like they don't have a romantic interest with each other. Like the obsessive person suddenly
Yeah.
going, "Oh, I like this person now," but she was trying to sleep with him in episode 2.
Yeah, We got that great scene that didn't finish how it should have.
All right, Dawson.
All right.
Okay, I mean, it obviously
I
shouldn't.
love that scene
but-
because I laughed so hard where she's just sitting there and then he
He
just goes,
"No, I just said you can use my shower. What do you want?"
I actually read something recently with a very similar scene that reminded me of. But I'll talk about that when we get to the manga section. But I think the best part of this show was the relationship between the sister and Nagisa. Not even their characters individually, purely the relationship between the two.
No, it was great.
Because I thought they were really good foils of each other. Like,
I just thought the scene where she rubs dirt on him was adorable.
yeah, the scene where she rubs dirt on him was great.
Or like grease and oil and shit.
That's one of the best. Like that was the shot that everyone was like, "This is great." Is because that whole scene is just really beautiful.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, that was well done.
Like the directing, the way the music ramped up, the stuff like the way they're talking, the voice acting, everything just kind of went together perfectly.
Yeah, and then they had to ruin it by having blue-haired girl Iris watch them, and then run away. It didn't kill the scene, but like it would have been better without it.
Yeah, and then the scene where like, oh, she gets her memories back, and it's just those two like hugging, and then the other girl's on the side crying. It's like, pick one. Which I mean, he does like complain at the end. He says, "Oh no, what am I gonna do over the two girls?"
He's like, "Oh no, what do I do?
Okay,
I'm
one
a
more
harem
bad
MC
thing,
now."
really quick. I love how like they made the eccentric professor guy, and then they're like, "Oh, look at my cool crazy ass car and shit that I'm driving." That guy, and then he goes, "All right, here's my idea for a war robot. We take the workers and we put guns on them."
It's like, oh my god!
And then we add
You're
the
such a
engines.
genius.
We add the Swimper engines.
Well, that wasn't even it for a while. Why do you suddenly need better engines for them? You just put guns on them.
Like, come on. I mean, how are they going to utilize that engine? Like, look at how big that thing is. And look at how big these robots are.
No,
Where is that going to fit on the robot?
He was going to design a new engine for that. That was it.
But at the end of it, they said, no, but we're going to use your X3 engine for these robots. There's nothing
That
you
was a
can do
threat.
about
No,
that.
remember he was asking, but he asked the main character to, or the not main character, the teacher to like make the engine for them.
I mean, they did ask, yeah, but at the end when they were threatening,
were
they're like, it's okay, because even if you leave, we still have your threat engine, and we're going to use it.
We could backwards, like we could.
I can put it in my robot.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
But it's like, what? That was such a stupidly simple design that doesn't match that guy's character.
Yeah, exactly.
We're literally just gonna strap robot or guns on what we already have, and for some reason they need a much better engine now.
Yeah, they had a couple sections that I
they're
felt
gonna make
like
Gundams.
their characters didn't quite stick to their original design. Like, that was one moment of it. And then Nagisa, I think in the moment where he tried to get support for... When he stood up in the meeting after having said...
like all his piece.
Yeah, exactly. He said his piece and he's like, okay, who supports me in not disbanding that? And he got really flustered by the fact that nobody stood up with him. I didn't think that was really... within his character to get flustered.
Okay.
I felt that.
I feel like anyone would be like that in that situation.
I feel like he'd be
fucked.
I mean, he seriously got fucked, but I still think he would have, from everything we've seen up until that point, I still feel like he should have kept his cool.
But that was sort of a moment of vulnerability, because that's when he was bringing back the class.
Yeah.
Right? And when he's with the class, he becomes a lot more vulnerable.
And not only that, but it's...
So
you've seen it throughout this whole entire show where a lot of his plans always went through. Everything that he was doing always went through. And this was one of the main... like his moment.
He was talking to them in the car on the way there. Like, and they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then they get there, and like he goes, cool, I'm going to save all my
No, that
classmates.
wasn't on the way there.
That was a different...
That was like days ago. Because after that scene, you got the scene of... the president head doing exactly what he did when he first got the political guy to side with him and switch over to the union side.
Huh.
But I don't know. I felt like as much as his plans have always worked out and always gone through, that's only what we've seen of him from everything else they've given us from his backstory. it seems like he should be pretty used to things not going his
Well,
way.
he's never been on the offensive before.
Yeah, he's usually more of the damage control.
He just takes it and then
and
makes it better.
Yeah, makes it better. But he's never been the attacker, and this is like his moment of attacking. He's
I'm gonna get all the power. I just betrayed everyone for this.
Yeah.
And like I'll get it all to work.
Yeah, and he's vulnerable in this spot. He's attacking, and no one stands up. No one's on his side. Everything just falls apart.
Yeah, I still would have envisioned him keeping his cool during the actual meeting and falling apart further than he did afterwards. I don't know. That's just personally how I saw him.
I don't know.
As a character.
Like I said, I feel like anybody in their situation, even as cool as you would be,
it's hard to hide your reaction.
You would have that same reaction because it's like you basically you thought everything through and everything should have worked
and it didn't.
It didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll agree to disagree here.
Yeah. It's get mad at me.
See, here's the thing. My favorite parts about the show was the business and politics. I love the pseudo politics and stuff like that, and just all the backstabbing, all the deals. When they went into the political part, it was just I was like, oh, this is awesome. And he's doing the background deals, and he's and he's figuring out where the trail of money's coming from.
The presidential thing kind of confused me with all the names and stuff getting thrown around.
Yeah, well, it just had to do with there was a party that the CEOs...
It's 4 party merges through the series.
You just have to pay attention. It's not a lot of politics. It's CEOs, the unions, and then at the end, the parties combined to make one party, and then they couldn't support it, and then...
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason this show probably wasn't as good for me as it was for you guys, is because I really don't find politics interesting at all.
I don't like politics either. I like pseudo-politics interesting.
I don't even like pseudo-politics. I don't know.
I love
It's just personal opinion, though.
Yeah, exactly. But I like the character, what I liked is the pseudo-politics and how character-driven a lot of the story was, where it paid attention a lot to the teacher, the sister, Nagisa, Iris, question mark.
I mean, Iris wasn't that good. Well, I really didn't like the secretary lady that much.
I liked her.
I found her kind of annoying.
I felt her generic, but I didn't mind her that much.
I don't know. I think I would have liked her a little bit more if they didn't have her using kunai.
Yeah, what the...
Why? Why would she use kunai? I mean, okay, it makes sense
that she's... She comes from a long line of ninjas.
It makes sense that she, knows martial arts, and she's sort of his accountant / bodyguard.
No, she only follows... She doesn't follow him for that reason, remember? She goes, no, I just like him. That's why I follow him.
No. Yeah. Wait, Dawson. Do you want to go on your gravity bit?
Oh, yeah. Okay, while we're on this, there is a scene around episode 5 or 6 or 7, I believe. Something around there.
It's the episode where Dr. Lee is being kidnapped.
Where the ship is getting kidnapped, and they have the fight. The gravity changes depending on who you are for no explained reason whatsoever. They're all standing there looking like the ship has gravity and everything. And then as soon as this girl wants to fight, she kicks this guy, and gravity's disabled for her and for him, and this guy's floating all about, and she's jumping all over the ship, and everybody else is standing around like they have gravity. They're not even acting.
I thought they had magnetized boots.
Yes! See, that's the thing!
I remember that too!
It would be okay if they explained that, but they totally didn't explain that.
I felt like they did.
There was no explanation. I went back and I checked. I couldn't find if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I couldn't find an explanation for this, and I don't want to just assume they have magnet boots. And even if they did have magnet boots or something like that, I mean, how are they... You're still not going to stand the same way you would normally stand. You're going to be rooted to one spot, and you're going to float about like seaweed if you have magnet shoes. You're not going to be able to stand there and walk like you normally would. It's going to be... I don't know. If that's what they were doing, they could have animated it better. They either should have had somebody switch off the gravity so they could do this scene, because it just made no sense to have the gravity working how it did. It was just dumb.
I swear there was an explanation about it.
I swear to God, there was not an explanation.
It's been a bit, but I remember that was when I started really getting into it started with the Hot Springs episode, and then it went to that where, like, I really enjoyed that Hot Springs episode.
Yeah.
Because it was like, wow, it's a Hot Springs episode that has a lot of plot to it. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, that Hot Springs episode was decent. That was like Iris's best episode.
She's just driving.
Yeah, I know, it was great.
No, but see,
she drove a car and,
that's
and
why I
drifted
want
around.
Okay,
It
that's
was
why
cool.
I want a second season. Is that I want Iris's character more fleshed out, and then I want all those other like students, their characters more fleshed out, because they hinted at a bunch of stuff about a lot of the other characters' stories and stuff like that. Yeah. Or one of the guys could possibly be a girl. What?
Yeah, they did. They
did you not see that?
Supposedly hinted it. It was a single line of that.
No. It was several.
It was several.
I thought that Iris could have been a guy. That was my thing all the way through.
That would have been a great twist.
No.
I would have been so happy if they did that. And she actually has a thing for the sister.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know. There was a moment, like when she was feeding her the rice ball, and she just opens her mouth, and she's like an inch away from the other girl's mouth. It's like really, that's teasing. That's like
yeah. That is.
They're adorable.
But I'll take.
No, I don't know. I still don't like that character all that much.
Yeah, I didn't either.
She was like.
She was one of the weaker of the main cast.
I think what made this show for me was the
triangle
fact
was
that the love triangle was in, but the sister, the fact that she never really broke very much.
Uh-huh.
Like as much as we had the Nagisa.
I feel like she gets it from her brother though.
She does, which is cool.
With the brothers' unlimited amount of positivity
like
and optimism.
gung-ho-ness.
Yeah, they're both very like straightforward and simple characters. Was, like, the thing.
But I just, no matter what he said to her, she like always stayed like happy face pretty much. I mean, they had that whole like crying scene and stuff, but I thought that was within reason. And what made me think, okay, this romance section here is done better than a lot of things do, is the fact that when she made her like quote unquote confession to when she was talking to Iris, and she said, and Iris is like, hey, do you like him? And she waited a bit, and then she was like, yes. She didn't blush, she didn't get embarrassed.
It was all straight.
She just sat there, straight face, smiling and like thinking for a second, and she's like, yes. And I mean, she got a little bit embarrassed about it later, which I think is also reasonable. But I thought it would have totally killed
her character.
My vision of her character. Exactly. If they had shown her getting super flustered about talking to Iris about that. I thought that's what made it good. The fact that she didn't break around Nagisa, and then instead it was Nagisa ending up breaking sometimes around her. And their whole back and forth dynamic was just good.
They did.
This is my favorite part of the show.
They did a really good job with that. I think they did a
hands in that relationship.
See, that's what I thought I really liked about the show is they did a really good job on that aspect, and they did a really good job on the pseudo politics. And then they also, I just really like that teacher character for some reason. Just his gung ho optimism was just great. And that moment where he has to test pilot the ship, and then he just breaks, and he's like, "Whoop! I'm just gonna float down."
Yeah, mainly I just felt like I could always tell what his character was going to do.
He was supposed to be like that.
I just.
But then I find that
somewhat uninteresting.
That's why I like the ending where like they're sitting there and they're like, "No, we're not gonna fund this," and then he's like, "Yeah, about that."
Yeah.
Because that ending, I was like goosebumps. I was like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming."
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I thought the professor was pretty great just because, like, there's moments where he goes, dude, I got a plan. And they're like, no, but what about this? He goes, oh, crap, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And he totally just flip-flops. He goes, oh, nah, man, if the company makes me make weapons, I'm totally going to quit. He goes, yeah, but you have, like, a whole class of students who don't want to, like, lose this. And they're like...
he's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
My students.
We gotta do it for the students now.
Gotta do it for the children. But I think that's why I want to see the second season is because they hinted at like the bigger bad because you start off as like the first brother,
the third brother.
The guy the dad.
The dad. I mean,
the dad who actively sends assassins at people.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of brothers here, can we talk about the terrible villain character?
See,
he wasn't the villain. He was the peon.
I didn't like the first brother.
Yeah.
I liked the second brother because he didn't lose his cool at all. He was just sitting there calm, collect, and he always knew what was going on.
The second brother was a good
the
villain.
Twist that they weren't actually brothers. That was
yeah,
cool.
That was a good twist. The little
and then the twist that they're actually Iris's brother.
if it wasn't Iris, if it was any other character. Iris is this is so bad.
It doesn't make any sense because Iris, I mean, she's sort of, like, she's pretty smart, but she's not, like, business. And she doesn't look like them.
She takes more from the other side.
Yeah.
He looks way more like them. Ugh.
Yeah.
Why does he look so much like them?
Because...
That would have made sense if like, he had, like, a distinguishing feature that made him look
he
like
didn't
totally...
look like them. He didn't look
He
like
totally looked
his
like
hair
them.
was totally different.
Their hair were totally different.
Yeah, they had different hair. Hair color was
I'm just getting off it, but anyway.
Yeah, but that first brother character, they tried way too hard to make him hateable. Like, it was on the level with the villain in the second arc of Sword Art, where he's just like a rape character. This guy's just like a violence character.
No,
like,
he's like do all the work for me and I'll take all the credit. And that's it.
And then he like...
He has nothing good or like...
And then he punches him and he like carves up his back. There's just... No,
I think there was something
he's not human.
He's such a
there was something
he's
mentally
not
off.
human.
There was something mentally off with him.
And they should have explained that, or they should have just written a better villain.
Or actually given hints to that, other than I'm a terrible like sociopath towards my brother.
Yeah.
And everyone just seems to be okay with that.
No.
They don't explain why everyone's just okay with that.
If you see that episode where like he's just beating up Nagisa in front of all those people, and like towards the end, where you see that, you see everybody's faces of like, oh, guys, are we really letting this happen?
That still has nothing to do with the fact that he's a terrible villain.
Nah, I'm not. That's like
the second villain was great, makes up for the first villain,
and then the third
but
villain,
he was just bad.
I want to see that third villain. That's the problem. I want to see that third villain. I want to see the clash between their small business and the bigger business, because then that opens up a whole new pseudo-politics in business that I would probably enjoy. Big business versus little business.
Oh, another stupid thing about the show. Same scene that Dawson's talking about. When they're about to hit the meteor, and then just out of nowhere comes another ship and just picks them up. And he goes, guys, we're saved by an unnamed ship. Cool.
No, that was a whole detail about, like, how is the brother doing? Like, the third brother was the one pulling the strings there.
I thought it was the point.
The point was that it was like an unmarked ship, and they were trying to smuggle him in. Right? But that was the ship that they were already on, not the one that saved them. I'm not... There might be an exclamation to that, but it's like... I just feel like it was so silly, because they were right about to hit a meteor, and then like these cables just come down.
Just happen to grab the ship.
And are able to get the ship, and then pull the ship back. Like,
I mean, they do that. They do that in the last episode of the show, too.
No, in the last episode, it's like the pipe, like, shoots down. But the other one is just like, yeah, we're going to send wires, and they're going to cling to your ship somehow.
And we're just
and let us pull your entire ship.
I love how no one like, they totally undercut that whole, like, yo, he was almost murdered thing.
Who?
Nagisa. He was, like, basically almost murdered. And everyone's like, okay.
Oh, at the end of the last episode? Or the couple episode build up there?
Yeah.
Where his brother tried to...
It's basically the first episode over again, but done a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the point.
Yeah, you wanted to see the...
it's supposed to come full circle.
Yeah, come full circle.
But yeah, like, did the brother get his proper punishment for that?
I mean...
I think?
They didn't really care to say. Maybe they're just trying to do away with their generic villain.
Yeah. Again, the thing is, I really like that ending because, again, with White Album 2, like, kind of disappointing me with that ending.
Like, I don't usually call for character's blood, but that character should have died.
Yeah.
He really should have.
So,
when you make a character that scumbaggy, that's, like, the only possible ending.
The only option is to kill them off in order to say, okay.
Because it's literally, like, this character has no human characteristics. They're just an asshole. In every sense, and they purposely made him useless, and they purposely made him, like, take all the credit and be unnaturally cruel, or unreasonably cruel. He's just a bullshit character, and, like, honestly, the only way that they could have possibly ended that off correctly is to kill him.
Yeah.
Probably in, like, an extremely painful way.
Yeah. Honestly, I wanted this to end after that kiss scene. I wanted it to end there. Because what happened after that doesn't interest me near as much as...
Yeah, again, I like the...
Well, to some people it does, Dawson.
Yeah,
so.
I know it does.
I love the pseudo-politics
I wanted to see what happened to them, right?
Yeah.
That was the moment of, okay, everything's gonna be okay, maybe.
And then stab.
Yeah, and then, like...
And then they went full Isaiah on him.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Durara spoilers warning.
Since I watched it week by week, and I saw White Album too, and I knew this is the same writer, the minute they did the kiss scene, I went, that was great, that was amazing. Where are you going with this?
Well, technically...
Where are you going with this? Because...
Well, I mean, there is a second girl now.
Until you get...
That's the fucking problem.
No, here's the thing. They didn't go... They scraped the surface, but they didn't go to the extent that I thought they would go because I saw White Album 2. They scraped it, and I was like, are they gonna do it?
Dude, there wasn't enough episodes for them to do that.
Yeah. You know what? That's why I don't care to see a second season of this show, because Iris is there. Iris has been added to that romance triangle now, or now a harem, I guess, and that completely
they should
makes
have made
me not care anymore.
They should have made it be like a little bit of romance between those two before she got her memory back. Then that would actually make sense.
Yeah, honestly, what I was hoping they would have done with that is had her come in as sort of a brother-sister sort of character to each other, rather than as like a romantic interest. If
they were childhood friends. Oh yeah.
If they would have like,
or it should have been like unrequited love, like, oh, I liked you from way back then, and it's like, yeah, but that's so long ago, right? And I have friends now and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really dumb for them to suddenly go, okay, now we like love each other because of that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like, he should have forgotten about her at the end. Though I guess he was doing a lot of the crap for her from the beginning.
Well, okay, the problem is, it seemed like what happened is he moved on from Nagisa and being obsessed with getting revenge for her into
helping out the class
and being with class rep. It's like the switching of his love interest symbolizes his switching of the this turning over of his personality, his like him coming into his real self and stuff like that, and then suddenly it's not that anymore. It's I don't know which one to choose. Help me, Sensei. Don't touch my sister.
Well, I felt like it was.
Why did she need amnesia?
Yeah, they could have introduced her memory loss a little bit better.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just shoehorned in to be convenient.
Like, maybe they could recognize each other later, and they'd be like, oh shit, that's you.
Well, no, he does recognize her at the first episode.
I know, but, like, I was thinking instead of them losing their memory, they just don't...
Well, he never lost his memory.
I know.
I feel like Iris's memory loss should have been presented from the first episode.
It was.
Yeah.
When
he talks to them, he talks to Iris. Or no, he notices who she is.
Yeah. Is that the second episode?
No, so in
that was the very first episode.
The first because
they save him.
The first episode, he recognized who it is. The second episode, they present the amnesia bit.
He starts talking to her like, are you happy with the way...
Yeah. And each episode...
You're like hurting yourself.
You probably didn't notice it because you were focusing on their other relationship. But every episode presents a little bit more about Iris's backstory as you keep going along.
But it was more like, I'm worried about you, not like I have romantic feelings for you. So like,
yeah.
At the end, okay, and I'm glad they didn't like kiss or anything at the end. I would have been really like annoyed by that.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, I would have immediately went, no, I'm now. This is my disappointment that I had with
Jump ship.
This is my disappointment I had with White Album 2.
Alright, I mean, that was pretty much what we had to talk about. So.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all my complaints, and then also just confirmation that I like romance.
So we liked it because of the pseudo-politics.
I liked it because of a decent relationship that got ruined.
But...
Oh, I mean, okay. At this point, I'm just saying this to present my personal taste, not because I think the show should have done this. Mm-hmm. But I would have liked it if they focus more on the mechanical side of things than the political side of things.
But that would be all bullshit.
And it would be great. I would love it so much.
He wants the pseudo-mechanical
I want pseudo-mechanical stuff.
But that's that's been done so many times.
So is pseudo-political stuff.
Pseudo-business political stuff I've not...
Maybe
Okay,
not.
if you want to say
I feel
pseudo
like
politics, then you go to Code Geass.
Oh God! Don't just throw trigger words out there.
I don't feel like
Oh, I wasn't
you-
prepared for that.
you destroyed the mic on that one.
I'm sorry.
No,
Every week I have to get that
I
one.
feel like they
that
almost
one
did
in.
the same thing with politics as they did on the mechanics. They skipped all the boring bits and they just had it happen. Right? It was just goes, here are the key events of where we're going. It's like the engine is built. This guy talked to the president and had this happen. Right? And it was just very, very, very shallow stuff because they just wanted to get to the actual like story that's going on.
Yeah.
And like the consequences of the stuff.
That's what.
Going super in detail, but just like bullshitting everything, I don't think that would really fit in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's two styles. I mean, there's obviously more styles than storytelling than just two. But two very different forms of storytelling are focus on the main points of the story and let the details be filled in as they happen in the background and not be relevant to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the other form of storytelling where they tell only the in-between bits and let the main story pieces happen elsewhere. And this show definitely did the former of the two, where it focused on the main bits of the story and disregarded the background details and let those happen on their own. And
Wait, so part 2 is more like One Punch Man? The other one you...
the other one's, a bit more like One Punch, and
I know, I'm guessing it's more like Index, honestly, but...
I mean, Index isn't a good example. I mean, Index is Index, but,
Well, Index focuses on the
world, doesn't it?
Index Index focuses mainly on the world. I mean, you still get huge story bits, but those aren't my favorite parts of it. But
well,
there's a lot of... It's like
the argument of, like, somebody going, like, I really like the hijinks in this show, or I really like the main story points in this show.
Exactly.
It's like Steven Universe. Some people, like... It's the argument between Steven Universe and Adventure Time. While Adventure Time, 90% of the show is hijinks with 10% plot.
Yeah.
Steven Universe is 75% plot with like 25% hijinks.
I watched for the plot.
I think
there's like
hijinks
one or
and
two jokes that
in-between
got me on
stuff.
Steven Universe, but that was about it.
I mean, if
The
done...
Viking beer.
No, the incident.
Which one?
The incident.
Oh, you gotta...
We're not talking about
No,
Steven Universe now.
Let's say, just...
We're not talking
The
about
fryer
Steven
thing.
Universe.
We don't use the fryer since the incident.
Okay, yeah, that was a good joke. Okay.
It was like a nuclear outline of a person on the wall. It was pretty bad.
Oh god.
Okay, anyway.
But oh god, I lost my train of thought. What was
Sorry.
I saying?
We were just talking about how you want a story to not
two-
be a story, but a bunch of
okay.
details.
Okay, no. I think more development happens in the in-between sections of a story than in the main plot points of a story. So I think we would have gotten better developed characters for a lot of these people if they had focused less on getting to their huge plot points and more on showing what happened in between.
So you like the in-between points, and we like the bigger points.
The big plot points,
See, I feel like a character's actions is what defines them, though. Like, what they actually do. And, like, when they say something, they go, okay, this is my, like, morals, right? And those morals can change.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what they do should either fit, or they should make it clear that they're trying to make it not fit. I don't know. Because if you have, like... I feel like that's where the character's personality actually shines through. Like, okay... I'm going to do something like a cardinal sin here, but I'm going to tangent and go to Berserk really quick. Okay,
yeah, that's cool.
Everything Guts does isn't like it's not in like the close personal moments between everyone. It's like how does he fight in battle against, say, remember in the Serpico fight, right?
Yeah.
That like they didn't just that was like a huge part of the story, but you got a lot about Guts in there. Like you understood.
Wait, which Serpico fight?
The any of them, honestly.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Like
wait 1 second.
There you go.
Put one in the
No,
top.
put one for... Yeah.
Hey, I said it. I gave you a warning.
I know. That's how I was pulling it out.
Anyways, they were, like, on the cliffside, right? Or in, like, the hallway with the pillars. Every time, it's just him fighting, like...
Exactly.
In sort of a prescribed way.
These aren't main story points.
Well...
These are... I
okay,
see
the
those...
cliff wasn't. But the pillars was definitely a main story point. I don't know, that's like...
Yeah.
Well, okay, for them, it depends on what you call the main story. Like, him and Griffith, or... Because I feel like there's a bunch of main stories in that one.
Yeah, I mean, Berserk... Well, Berserk does both.
Yeah.
And that's part of why Berserk
Because
is really good.
I feel like the world building is any scene when Guts isn't around.
Yeah.
But I love the scene when Guts is around more than any. Because, like, you're learning about his character through, like, how he fights, like, who he fights, and what he does.
Every time you watch Guts fight, and especially in the beginning and during the middle, and as he changes through how he fights, I think that's really... that characterizes him and shows what kind of person he is and how he's feeling and develops him more than a lot of the stuff that happens at the main huge plot point.
Like, what would be a main plot point later?
Like,
bring this back around, guys. Try to bring this back around.
Yeah, we'll bring this back around in a second.
We're talking about a principle here.
Yeah.
We're done with the show, honestly. We
have one more. We have one more bit about this show, but keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, but like,
do you want to do that now? We'll come back to
no, keep going.
The finishing sections of any of the arcs, like, I mean, obviously the eclipse is a huge turning point for Guts.
But after the eclipse,
but after the eclipse, like, when the castle's crashing around them as the egg is hatching, and Berserk spoiler warnings, Griffith coming back, and then
dude, this section has every spoiler warning. That's the problem.
Yeah, this is spoilers for many things. But what's another big plot point? When we get him like fighting on Zod's back.
Okay, yeah.
Points like those. I think those are anything the story's building towards, and then hits. Is a big plot point. And I think he gets better development within the sections where he's just fighting. I
feel like that's kind of attributed by the fact like the book are so long. Like you have so many pages to do that. Whereas this, it's like 12 episodes. So you better get all the points to it fast.
I think the best scenes in Classroom Crisis were not the big... To bring this back, the best scenes in Classroom Crisis were not the... Yeah, Andrew's over here making circles.
Bring it back.
Are not the huge
or one viewer's
scenes
like confused.
That are like accumulation of what's happening, like when they save the ship Nagisa at the end, or in the first episode when they save him, or when they get an accomplishment after working so hard to get funding for stuff. I think the best scenes are the ones like the study session he has. You like study session with her in the library, or when when Nagisa has that brief aside with the when he's painting, and he has the brief aside with the union member that comes into play later. I think those scenes are the better scenes that develop characters better than the main big scenes that are building towards. And I mean, I personally prefer when
that's what you mean. Okay, I just don't think they did those big scenes that well, honestly.
I mean, yeah, that's another part of it, is the fact that they didn't do the big scenes as well. But I think Classroom Crisis could have had having more of those smaller scenes and less bigger moments would have benefited the show. And would have helped the characters, specifically if Iris got more of those scenes. I think that was her main problem, is there weren't any good scenes of Iris just being herself and getting developed. Every point for Iris, it seemed like it was something that was very specific. Like, we need to show this for Iris so we can advance the plot with everyone else.
Even in the background, like a lot of those characters, even in the background, they have their moments.
Yeah, and some of them even have their own moments.
Yeah, exactly. But Iris is so plain that it's hard to do that.
Iris is like as like
should have written a better character.
Exactly. Iris is
that has nothing to do with the focus. That has everything to do with like she's not a very well written person. I don't know.
But like even if they would have, I feel like she would have felt
There's so many
written.
moments where she just doesn't do shit, and she could be doing shit to make her a better character.
Here's the thing. I want to bring back what we're watching this season right now. Is I've almost thought about it right now. Almost in every background scene, there are two characters: Iris and the main character from Gundam. What's his name? Mizuki, I think. Mickey Mouse.
Okay. Mizuki Mouse.
But basically, those two characters, they have the same exact scenes in the background, as they're just deadpan eating something in the background. And for one, it's okay. And for the other, you need to build that character. Because...
But what would happen if suddenly Mizuki gets back his memory and then becomes this, like, totally, like, different character?
No.
What if he can't get in the fucking mech?
No, that's what I'm
What if he can't get in the mech?
I'm arguing with you guys. I'm supporting your argument.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, I'm like adding on to your argument. I'm not arguing against it. That's why I said I didn't say that I liked Iris as a character.
Yeah.
I was just saying Mizuki's a way better character.
No,
yeah.
that's why
because that hasn't happened to him.
No, because that's what I'm saying. I'm adding on to your point here. Yeah. Where on both sides, at this current point, Mizuki's main big plot points, they've been fine. They've been fine, and they've been building his character.
Yeah.
Well, her big plot points don't build her character as much as they do with him.
Yeah, and nothing shakes her or makes her like a relatable character until they pull that giant time or like memory comeback plot point, and then she's like the most like
she's Shinji.
Yeah, sort of.
It's like
she becomes hyper inconfident. She starts hallucinating for no reason when she gets her memories back.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Also, they never explain that scene very well either.
Even though she's supposed to perform really well under stress, as you can tell by her driving and stuff. I don't know.
It probably has to do with her memories.
There's just a lot of ways in which she could have been made a better character, and she wasn't.
If you want to see a better character with her same exact personality, go look at Gundam, because that's being done really well so far with the 5 episodes.
Because he's deadpan, but when he snaps, it's still him.
Yeah.
Right?
And when she snaps, she's a totally different character.
Yeah, when she snaps, she becomes like this little obnoxious...
When he snaps, he runs up and chokes a person. When she snaps, she can't get into the rocket ship.
See, here's the thing. He's probably safer when he snapped. Because otherwise, it's literally just the other guy goes, kill him, and he'll just... You're dead.
Gundam spoilers, by the way. In case you hadn't noticed at this point.
They're spoiling everything.
Yeah,
but that's
this
what
is the all spoilers section.
Bringing this back to my original point, I didn't like Iris as much. I liked the sister, I liked her character and everything that she stood for. I liked Nagisa with his pseudo-politics and stuff like that. And I liked the teacher with his just gung-ho optimism, and then just him kind of being like us in a way. We're in kind of his position of like, we kind of want this to work, but we don't know how, and stuff like that. And he's trying to figure things out as we're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Because he's always behind. It's like, all the students are all like, oh, look at all this technobabble, and then he just goes, what?
Yeah.
I think she just really got to me. I don't know. Because, like, I'm super into deadpan characters generally.
Yeah, kind of really.
How about that asterisk?
I feel like they just fucked it up. They had something. Like, her Daredevil thing could have been, like perfect, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, they had... There was... Why did they make her, like... have PTSD, and that's why she couldn't fly the rocket. What if she actually got into a crash? They were building up to that. She goes, oh, I never crashed, so it's cool. Oh, I never crashed, so it's cool. And then the only reason she crashes is because she gets her memory back. It's not because, like, oh shit, like,
okay, well, there was something
off more than I can chew.
No, there was something already off about her before she even got into that crash, where she, starting from the spaceship episode with the gravity, she starts getting a little bit of that back, and, like, she already passes out, not due to the, like...
It was her memory coming back still.
Yeah, it was her memory coming back there. And then again...
They didn't have to do the memory.
I'm not arguing, I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, the memory loss plot point is really hard to do well.
Yeah.
Because it's been done so many times.
You know what's a really good one that's doing it really well right now? Torimono.
Yeah, that is...
You know why they're doing it good? They never reference his memory. They just haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's just...
They tell you more about what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
but basically, that's a hard plot point to do, and they didn't do it well.
So
they didn't do
that's my conflict on that.
They could have done it well, but then they
fucked
it up for
overall
reasons. Everyone else was okay.
Overall, rate this?
I thought we were supposed to do that in the spoiler-free section.
No, we do it here too.
Okay.
No, the spoiler-free is recommend this. This is a rate.
Do you recommend or not recommend? This is...
Rate this.
7 or 8. It was pretty good.
6 or 7.
I go 7. I go 8. I go 8. So, like, because the thing is, like, if you say 7, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Andrew won't have to kill you tonight.
Yeah. I mean, if we go halfways here, it's probably like a... I mean, okay. Honestly, my rating system is really messed up at this point.
Think about this right now. Kusin Madoshi Kusin was rated a 6.5.
Yeah, okay. This depends. Are we using my anime list ratings here? Because all of those are like 5 and up.
Yeah, what would he rate Kusin to Miyoshi Kusin though?
Yeah,
That's
like
the real
if we're
question.
talking actual ratings here,
Okay.
like 5 is a
Actual
average, completely average show.
With nothing good or bad about
with
it.
nothing good or bad. 5 is Sword Art.
Okay.
5 is okay. 5 is Sword Art.
That's unfair, but okay.
I think Sword Art's the perfect 5. It's
has good
interesting.
things and it has
It's
bad
interesting
things.
enough that it does a decent amount well. Has a big budget, looks good, but it has crucial flaws to it too. So it's a perfect kind of in between. And I think this is a solid 6. Like it.
Okay, but we'll say 6. But my anime
It's
list
better
ratings.
than Sword Art.
Okay,
Dawson.
going by my anime list ratings, I would give this a 7. Going by Sword Art as a 5 rating,
Just
I'm
do
gonna give it
your
a
own
6.
rating. It doesn't have to be.
No, because that's the funny part about my anime list. Because if I had to do it, it's like this is an 8, and then my anime
what is
list
the Steam rating? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Honestly, I
Also
feel like it would be more productive to do these ratings out of 5.
Why?
I don't know.
That just makes it like less accurate.
I've rated almost nothing below
a 5.
a 5 though.
Yeah.
Like the only things below a 5 are Code Geass and Absolute Duo.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, and my below a 5 is Air, Danganronpa the animation, and
Should I just get really
Demon
bad
King.
animes for mine so we can set the scale?
I've like watched bad animes.
I've watched
though.
bad anime.
Do you want me? Should I just be the bad anime guy?
I hope not.
Like every time
I
we
want
do
to enjoy my
recommendations?
weeks.
Just
I'll get it so bad it's good.
No, because then that's gonna get it up.
No.
Like if we're full on, rating things that we've already watched. I gave ratings on all of those, but it's hard to say how accurate that is.
Okay, yeah. For me, relative to everything else that I've watched, I'd give this a 7.
Yeah.
But grading it on my anime list, I'd give it an 8.
Yeah. I just feel like I've given everything we've watched so far a 7.
Well, because it's nothing mind blowing yet for you, and nothing
Yeah.
terrible. Oh well, Demon King.
Oh, wait, no. I gave a 8 to what's it called?
Samurai.
The thing with the terrible names. And Samurai. I thought I got Samurai at 9.
Yeah.
No, I gave an 8 to what was it called with the bad names? Dawson, you said the names were terrible in this.
Oh.
Leonardo Watchu.
Oh.
Kikai.
Kikai Sensen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
you
okay,
can-
Kikai Sensen and Samurai Flamenco, I think I gave an 8. And everything else I've gave us a 7.
Except
And we didn't rate Demon.
Did you rate Higurashi a 7? Or?
I'd rate
you said you couldn't rate.
Higurashi. I don't know
You said
how
unrated.
to rate. I don't
It's
know how
unrated.
to rate.
It's unrated.
Yeah. Higurashi, I can't figure out how to rate.
But yeah.
Rating's a
Because
complicated
here's the
thing.
thing. Here's the thing I
I don't
have
know
to
what
say
to do about ratings.
Here's the thing that I'm going to close Classroom Crisis is. Again, first season ever watching all anime weekly, and out of the 18 shows that I watched over the summer, this came out on top.
I found a 13 episode.
Connor, later.
Sorry. I was still in the zone talking about me doing the bad animes, or at least the weird ones.
But anyway, as I
Look
was
forward
saying,
to the Midori Days review.
Oh, God.
anyway, as I was saying, but this one came out on top from last season. There was a lot of anime that were just they
I
fell
like Shimano
short.
better.
They fell short or just weren't as great. But for me, I like this a lot more. Probably because I really like the music. I think.
Was this the same season as Shimanada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Shimanada better.
Well, yeah, I liked Working. I liked
Oh
Ours
yeah,
on
Working
Second.
counted as that season, huh?
I liked Gachimon Crowds a lot more than this, but like top of the season for me, it was like this and Roka. Those ones those ones held my interest. Like
Is that
Shimanada.
not counting second seasons and
Yeah.
continuations?
Yes.
Eh.
And I thought this came out pretty solid during the summer season. Yeah. Again,
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't...
I didn't understand the hype as much, but
I didn't hype it. I just said,
well, no, but you watched the videos that like kind of hyped this.
okay, because if you think about that season as you compare this to Charlotte.
Okay, honestly, I think this...
Okay, so every anime that came out at the same time as Boku no Pico was amazing.
Yes. Wait. What are you talking about? They're all shit compared to Boku no Pico. Because
Oh,
Boku no
God.
Pico's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, that season didn't have a
By
ton
that
of
logic.
stuff that interested me besides, like,
That's
working
why the
and
season's so
non-non.
good, because Valkyrie drives out.
You have something bad to compare it to?
No, because Lance and Mask is...
Oh god, which one's worse?
I think I'd rather watch Valkyrie Drive.
Lesbians or lollies, guys?
Because I'd rather watch at least like of age looking women than like lolly looking. But we'll get to that.
Unless you can legally whack off.
Okay, but overall, that's what we have to say about Classroom Crisis. Let's move on so we can continue this tangent.
Yeah.